I'm your host, Joy Votrobek, here with our senior analyst, Laurence Sanford.
Good day, Joy.
Welcome, Larry.
Good day.
So today I want to bring up the situation report. I know we're a little behind on this, but the BRICS summit was held, I think, about 2 weeks ago. And we had done a podcast on BRICS and the American dollar that went over quite well, I would say, on our YouTube and other channels. So it garnered a lot of interest. And to give you an update, there are now there's talks of, and I think we talked about this before, but at least 20 countries that are looking to expand BRICS.
Yeah, explain BRICS is this short.
BRICS is an acronym for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa.
Right.
And now, most recently of those 20 countries, there's some real interest by Saudi Arabia, Iran, and Venezuela, which, Larry, I find interesting because all three of those countries are big oil-producing countries.
Yeah, and there certainly is a contradiction, and there's some pushback. I think those three countries are on the list, but there's another, as you mentioned, another 10 countries at least interested in getting into BRICS. And one of the problems with a lot of countries is they don't have any money because they have these terrible policies. Not that the U.S. has that kind of policies either, but so they don't have any money, cash available to trade. And so they're thinking that if they can use their local currencies to trade, then they can bypass the U.S. dollar. And so China is pushing their yuan or renminbi as an alternative source of funds, and I can see that happening. But the problem with the Chinese money is it's not easily convertible. The U.S. dollar you can do a lot of things with, but the Chinese dollar is, they control it, so it's not that easily convertible into U.S. dollars or Russian rubles or whatever you want to do with it. So it makes a difference long term. But it's an easy fix. It's an easy thing to say, oh, we're getting rid of the Yankee imperialism and the U.S. dollar, and we're going to trade in Chinese money or our own money or form our own currency in South America type of thing. Probably not going to happen in the near future.
And that's what they were discussing, is being able to trade in their own currencies. Now, when they say currencies, yes, I would agree that the Chinese or the CCP want to use theirs as the main. I think the main bank is located in China. Is that correct?
Yes.
The New Development Bank?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's headed by a Brazilian who was a former president of Brazil and a communist guerrilla in her youth. So she fits right in.
But as you said, and also I would say that the China CCP are not very open about, they want a very closed network on their money and everything else that's being done.
Yes. Yeah.
So not as free trading as our dollar would be.
No, not at all. But in a way, you can't blame them for wanting to get together to form a trading alliance. What the heck? We have trading alliances. We have NAFTA, right? Or I guess it's called something else now. But we have
they renamed it. You're right.
North American trading.
Canada and Mexico.
So there's nothing wrong with forming trading zones. It's just that if they do that, they want to exclude Europe and the United States. They want to do their own thing, the rich countries. But BRICS has an inherent problem because India and China hate each other. They're involved in a huge not huge, but they're involved in a new map that China has made official, which includes a big chunk of India's northeast. Chinese claim it's part of the Tibetan Plateau and therefore belongs to China, where, of course, Tibet shouldn't belong to China anyways, but they just took it, just like they did Xinjiang, and power comes out of the barrel of a gun. And so they're writing these maps. They write the maps in the South China Sea. And I thought, interestingly enough, on this new map, it also includes new territory on the Russian border in the Amur River, A-M-U-R River. There's some islands there. And in the old days, it was sort of split 50-50. Now China says, no, the islands really are all Chinese. And long term, Russia has a huge problem with China also, just in the fact that chunks of Siberia were ceded to Russia by the Chinese Qing, I can't pronounce, Qing dynasty back in the 1700s when China was very weak. So huge areas of Siberia were ceded to Russia because China had no choice in the matter. Believe me, China hasn't forgotten that. And one of these days, they're going to say, you know, really Siberia belonged to us back in the 1600s, and now we want it again. So we'll see how that evolves over time.
Another good situation report you brought up is that new map. So maybe that will be for the next episode because we're running out of time here for this one. But thank you for your updates and your discussion on that. And we'll look to see what continues to happen with BRICS.
Yes. Thank you, Joy.
Thank you.